the Warriors somehow, some way win Game 7 over the Rockets in Houston. They're moving on, round number 2.
Moving on up.
That's right, take on the Timberwolves. But, after they lost in Game 6 at home, they looked pretty bad in that, and somehow, some way. And then all of a sudden, they win a game. And, of course, Steph Curry put a couple of points together in the fourth quarter.
I don't like the way you're saying it right now, Rob. Put some respect on his name.
He put a couple of points
Four-time
together.
champion,
Put a couple
two-time
of points
MVP.
together. And then they try to give it like it was Steph who won the game. You want to talk about, fudging a story or over-dramatizing. Like, even the headline for ESPN
What is that?
said Steph Curry and Buddy Hield. Because they couldn't. Because they
just give Buddy Hield the love.
They couldn't. But
Buddy love.
But they couldn't just add Steph Curry advances the Warriors because they know that would not be the real story. So the Rockets at home in a Game 7, we get it, a young team and all that.
Uh-huh.
Kelvin, when was the last time they led in that game yesterday? Do you know what the score was when the last time they led?
The Rockets?
The Rockets, yes.
Third quarter?
First quarter, 19-17.
Oh, wow. I feel like it was a nip and tuck one.
No, and then it was like 63-60 or something, but to actually led the game.
Yep.
One time, 19-17. And the reason why this game.
That was a good movie, by the way.
Okay.
1917, that was a Bond movie.
The reason why the Warriors got this win was simple. Buddy Hield hit 7 of his first 8 3-pointers. He finished 9 for 11 from 3. Steph had nothing to do with this. I know he had, 14 points in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Okay? The team was up by double digits. They were garbage points. They weren't real points. Steph didn't play when the game was on the line, when it was real. He was like 3 points in the first half. What was he, 1 for 7 shooting? That's when the game was won. Why do we have to, massage the story to make Steph a part of it and feel good about it? I'm not here making it up. I'm being honest. Yes, he had 14 points, but none of them were clutch. You don't have it's not a clutch shot. You're up by 11. I can make that shot. I can't make that for real, but you get my point.
I get your point. I'm about to say don't get carried away, but I get your point.
I'm getting carried away. Okay? Why, oh, why do we have to do that? And at some point, when you talk about clutch, how in the world could you rank this as a clutch performance? There's nothing clutch about it. It's stat padding. That's what it is. Okay, I'm not mad. Somebody's got to make a shot, but come on. Clutch? Oh, his clutch fourth quarter performance wrapped it up for the Warriors. Really? Double digits? Yeah. You get my point?
Listen. Anybody who watched the game knows the star of the game who saved the game was Buddy Hield. There's nowhere around that because you're on the road.
Got them off to a great start.
Yep, and every time you feel like Houston might do something, he made a huge shot. So you got absolute. I mean, when Buddy Hield is giving you 37 minutes and Dagner has the same amount of points, 33, that's a huge performance. And also, he played some really good defense as well. You got to respect Buddy Hield's defense in that game as well. Here's where I would disagree with you, and I had to come to this conclusion some years ago. It will never show up in the stat sheet. But the one thing Steph Curry does, aside from just simply being the greatest shooter, is that he gets assists by simply existing on the court.
I ain't buying that.
I know you're not, but let me digress. Let me break it down. There were so many times in that game where they literally were playing a la boxing one or all eyes on Steph. And so everybody's looking at Steph. Everybody's eyes are on Steph. And Buddy Hield was able to sneak away from his defender and get open. They would find him for 3. If you watch it, a lot of his was based off little 2 or 3 steps to his right because his defender was watching Steph turn around, and he just lost sight of Buddy Hield.
So that would make the case that they should win every game then because they're all on Steph and everybody else is open.
When Buddy Hield's hitting like that, they might. But my point is, so I'm with you that Steph absolutely did not. He's not the reason they won the game.
You can't even use the word clutch in there.
Yeah,
I will clutch
give,
what?
Yeah, I will give
he
it to
had
him.
A clutch purse?
Yeah,
I mean, what else could it be?
I'll give you that one.
Kelvin.
That was
I
a good
mean,
one.
like,
I'll give you that one.
that's the only thing that could have been clutch
I'll give you
last
that
night.
one. That was a good one. So that's my thing. His simply being out there, his running around spaces the floor for other players, and you hope finally a guy like Buddy Hield can have a Klay Thompson-like game when Klay was Game 6 Klay and all that, and have that, and that's what he did. So I will give Steph Curry credit for the history of him allowing for defenses to focus on him, and guys can benefit from that. That's a fact on that. The other thing is we have to just acknowledge that he's never going to necessarily win game winners, but he is going to give you the Steph Curry flurry that buries another team. And I have to just be okay with that. He is 1,000% never going to give Rob Parker what Rob is desiring. Rob wants 2, 1, and that's just not going to happen. I'm not saying not, because if he plays another 2, 3, 4 years, obviously he can make 1. But I'm saying he won't have a history of those. What he'll have a history of, his team is up 5, his team is up 8 after being up 18 or 20. You're making a comeback. Wop, 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 3, 3, 3. Night, night, put the kids to bed. He'll do that. So the Steph Curry flurry that will bury a team is absolutely real, and we just have to accept that is his clutch. I'm going to ice the game, put it away where it's so far out of reach that you can't get back. Or if we were making a comeback, we meaning the Warriors, I'm going to be the reason, wop, 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 wop. Now we're up.
Can I give you some numbers? During the game.
This previous game.
This is the game 7.
Yeah,
13 of the 22 Curry points came while the Warriors were up double digits.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
0 of his 22 points came when the game was within 3 points. In short, none of his baskets came when the game was tight. Moreover, you ready?
Yep.
Curry
I know
is
it's
still.
real when you say moreover. It's about to be real.
Yes. 0 for 16 in his career on shots to tie or take the lead in the last 50 seconds in fourth quarter and overtime in the playoffs. That's
shout out to Kevin Love.
Okay.
When he defended him Game 7.
But that's not a small sample set. Would you say 16 shots?
All right. You would hope you'd make 5 of them,
right.
6 of
Nobody
them. Nobody expects you to
make
50%.
Exactly. Nobody's saying, "Oh, how come he didn't make 8 or 9 of them?" No.
You got to give me 4 or 5.
You got to give me 4. You're considered by some the greatest shooter.
I'm some.
Okay. But he hasn't made a shot like that. That matters.
I'm telling you, he's created a new thing, Rob. You got to deal with it. It's the new thing. It's the Steph Curry flurry. It's like Little Richard, Rob G. He hit you with a wop, bop-a-loo, bop, a wop, wop, bamboo, and it just bop, 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 3, 3, 3, and that's it. You get the Steph Curry. You creeping back in the game. You're down. Your team is down 15. Your crowd's going crazy.
Now, Rob G, the next time he says I have an old reference, I want you to go back to this, okay? No. Can we please? The next time you say I have an old reference.
Rob Parker.
Wow.
I can't get one?
No.
I can't get one?
Not as a 43-year-old. No, you cannot.
I can't get one.
How in the world are you going? How in the world you ever came up with that?
Because there's one of the greatest
from
memes
that?
ever. There's one of the great. Somebody Google the meme and then tweet us, okay? I'm serious. There's a meme with a black man, probably mid-upper 50s, and he's working TSS, a real guy. And he's got the most Little Richard hairdo. And somebody said, when you got a 9 to 5, but you got a wop babaloo bop after it, you have to. It's freaking hilarious. If you know what I'm talking about, send me that meme so I can show Rob. That's the Steph Curry running back, Mary. You making a comeback, Rob? This is what happens.
There was no
wop, 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 bamboo.
There was no comeback.
That's
comeback?
What happens.
What was the comeback?
Because you think, all right, we only down 10. We got 8 minutes left.
Only down by 10?
Yeah, we got 8 minutes. That's nothing in the NBA.
There's no pressure there. There's not but I'm saying.
Did you see the Olympics? That's what he does.
No. The Olympics, only one of those shots, Rob G. We went over it, didn't we?
We did. You analyzed it.
Yes, we analyzed it. Only one of those three.
I'm with you. You know this. Reggie Miller, Damian Lillard, Chauncey Billups, Michael Jordan.
I take
Kobe
any
Bryant,
of those guys.
Larry Bird, if I didn't already name him. Yeah, Ray Allen. There's like 20
guys
for
sure.
that I'm taking over him to take the last second shot. Kyrie. But if you're saying we need a flurry, like my man I used to work with when I was 15 years old, and he couldn't say McFlurry, he had his accent. He was like, McFlurry. He would always say, Steph Curry comes with the McFlurry.
That's racist.
No, that's how he said it.
Oh, God.
Wop, wham, wop, Rob.
Where'd you get that from?
What you mean? The
Mary
internets.
Mack to even look it up. How does she even know where to go?
Don't disrespect Mary like that. Mary be knowing what
Mary,
she
you
be knowing.
21 years old.
Okay, but it's Little Richard.
Okay.
Mary, hit me with that one more time. This is what happens. Curry for 3. Hit it.
Thank you.
Wop. That's my new thing. Rob G, game 1 when he goes crazy. Get it ready. If he hits 3-4 threes in a row, that's exactly what happens.
Calling Steph Curry clutch.
No, I'm calling him Curry
It's
Richard.
tutti frutti. I'm going to just tell you that. Come on. What? I'm not buying it.
Yo, you on fire today.
I'm not
The only
buying
thing
it.
Clutch is his purse and calling him Tutti Frutti. You on fire today, boy. Get a pair of Jordans. You don't know how to act?
Nah, where are they? You got
Whatever.
my card? Where's my
Yeah,
card?
I got your car. I got to go to the car. Let me go to the car.
Yeah, all right. You
Got
better
it.
go. Yeah, Rob G, I'm still waiting for my gift card he said he had in his
I
pocket.
do. No, I said it's in the car. I'm going to go get it. This next break.
Okay.
I got to make a phone call anyway.
Yeah. 877
Wop, baba.
99 off. All right.
Oh, shoot. That's my new thing, man. Anytime we talk about Steph
God.
Curry, I need that. Permanently, Rob G.
God.
I need
Rob
Tell
G,
Alex,
really?
man. Alex, I need. I'm crying, yo.
all right.
All right, I'm crying, yo.
Was Steph Curry clutch yesterday in Game 7? Does it matter what the score of the game is when these Curry flurries hit?
All right.
All right, let's go. Kim in Phoenix, you're in the Odd Couple,
Phoenix.
Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Kim?
Hey, what's up, Rob? What's up, Calvin? How you brothers doing
Doing
today,
well,
man?
Doing well.
Right. Hey, I think Rob is just hating on Steph because Steph's light skinned, man. Let's just get that out there right now. You know, I hear him saying nothing about how clutch LeBron is because we all know Bron ain't clutch. But here's the thing. Here's the point. Steph may not be clutch, but he makes the guys around him clutch. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but he's
If it
still.
wasn't-
But wait a minute. Hold on, Kim. He's still 0 for 16 in those moments when they needed him. These are not made up stats. To tie the game or take the lead with 50 seconds or less, he's 0 for 16 from the field. Those are facts, not feelings.
Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm a big Warriors fan, you know, and I wish he would hit those big shots in the moment. But that's why we got guys like Buddy and had Clay and had Durant because he's a clutch maker. Can we agree? Can we agree to disagree on clutch maker?
I don't know what that is. So he sets up everybody and then they make the clutch shot? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
I
Because
don't know how you could be considered the greatest shooter of all time and you can't make a big shot.
Hey, how many championships did Reggie Miller win?
No, but it doesn't mean whether or not
Kim,
you would rather him take a shot for
I almost
you.
drove to Phoenix, Kim, to come get you. Don't do my guy Reg like that.
Seriously.
I love Cheryl.
And wait a minute,
I love Reggie.
and Steph Curry is also the author of the only 3-1 choke in NBA history.
Yeah.
That's Steph Curry by himself. Nobody else has ever done that. Thanks anyway, Kim. Appreciate it. Rob G, what you got?
Rob G?
It's just a question, Rob, because, you know, that stat I gave you about his fourth quarter numbers, the over 16, I also gave you some other stats on the other side of that coin.
I'm not looking at
which
that.
you didn't look at.
I don't have time for
Rob
that.
G, you supposed to send them to me.
So here's the problem. Here's the double-sided coin, all right? Yes, Steph Curry has never made a shot in the last 50 seconds, you know, over 16, you mentioned that. But in game sevens in his career, he's 4-2. He averages 31, 7, and 7 with 2.5 stocks per game on 47, 42, 93 splits.
Go look at it.
Yeah,
Go
so my
look at
question
look
is-
at the game 7 that they choked down to 3-1. Not only did he not make shots,
He had
he had
17 that night.
he had one of the worst turnovers. You remember that?
Yeah,
He
behind
threw
the back.
trophy behind his back.
Behind the back.
So, but here's the
Am I
question.
He threw
right?
the trophy behind his
Yeah,
back.
like I was like, what is this February? What game was
does
this?
clutch only matter in the quote clutch time, or does it being clutch in a game 7? Like, do you just not apply to that at all?
For me to answer that question, I think this is why he's become special in a multitude of ways. And I've had to come to grips with this because I used to be more of a nitpicker at Steph. Like, he's just unique in that, yes, he does not hit buzzer beaters. But again, he breaks your back probably greater than anyone I've ever seen. And so that's just his version of it.
I just think
And I get what you mean.
To be on that, and this is all I'm saying. When you want to put somebody like up there like the greats, you could all go back to these moments and situations.
I get it.
Do you know what I mean?
Elo over Byron Russell.
Yeah,
Kobe
like
versus Denver.
right.
Phoenix. And
Bird steals the ball.
LeBron's got Orlando.
Like Kevin Durant. We remember the shot in LeBron's face.
Yep, in the finals.
Am I right? Like there's shots. And Steph's played a long time, has had a lot of success, yet you can't go to one of those moments. I think that's weird.
It is weird.
To be able to say that somebody's
that.
the greatest something of all time. Not that he's not a great player. I've never said that he's not a great player or he's the greatest three-point shooter. Mm-hmm. Those are facts, right? Numbers-wise. All right, 877-99 on Fox.
But can you be clutch like how he is in a Game 7 without making clutch shots, I guess is my question.
Not when the score is in double digits. That's not clutch to me.
But he's saying Game 7.
It's just like Rob
Because he shows up in Game 7.
But we've talked about this before. Is it the same shot where the score is tied or you're down one or down? It's not the same shot. Somebody go like, oh, he made a clutch shot. Well, the score was tied. There's no pressure on that shot. If we win, if I make it, awesome. Mm-hmm. If I don't make it, guess what? We're going to overtime. Yeah. But if I miss the shot, that's when you look at somebody and go, man, that's a clutch basket. Oh, my God.
I know what you mean.
There's a difference.
A lot of people say that about LeBron, too, that he'll always make the tied-up one. Who we got?
Jay in Georgia. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Y'all run into each other over the weekend, you and Jay?
No. Did not meet Jay.
Okay.
What's up, Jay?
Oh, my God. I was about to say, Kelvin, stop it. And then the guy Kim had an even worse take. Like, what did you mean? Steph makes people around him clutch. Like, either you're clutch or you're not. And Kelvin, what do you mean? Like,
I'm gonna tell you what I mean.
That's his new clutch. Like, that don't even make sense.
Yeah,
I love you, brother.
Listen,
please,
listen. Let me tell you, I'm with you. I've said it. Rob has heard me say it a million times.
He's not clutch.
If you've heard me say there's 20 people in history, and if I really put my brain to it, maybe 25 that I would take over him for a last shot. But what I'm saying is, and you've been watching enough basketball to know, what he does is if a team is down 15 and they start making a comeback and the crowd's going crazy and they feel like we can win this thing versus the Warriors.
But double digits
he hits it, but I'm saying he goes crazy with a flurry and pushes his lead back up. Or if
go ahead.
I
think Steph he's the most front-running superstar ever. Like, he doesn't have, like Rob just said, he doesn't have, like, one signature moment that you can call on.
That's shocking.
Oh, okay,
yeah, when Steph, you remember when Steph buried that three and won that game? You remember that?
OKC?
Yeah,
he did that. I remember that, though. He did hit that.
Yeah, outside of I'm talking about in the playoffs, like when it really mattered. Outside of that Olympics shot, like, but he really doesn't have like an NBA playoff signature moment.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Steph was a little overrated, and we're just gonna be honest with it. Like,
I agree
good,
with
he's
you. If people are rating him in the top 8,
that's too high.
He's too high. And by the way, don't go on Twitter, aka X. People have lost their mind now. You saw Kendrick Perkins, which I know Kendrick is Kendrick, but it's time to start putting him in the GOAT conversation.
No, stop,
All right,
stop.
Kendrick,
come on. That's when.
Come on, Kendrick. Shaq, come on, Shaq. It's always the big men who love shooters.
But it's always like a prisoner of the moment of a situation where
22-point game 7, now he's the GOAT?
He had 22 points? Like, seriously. He had 3 at half.
I'm dead serious when I say this. It's big men that wish they could do what he does. I'm dead serious. Shaq loves people who
The worst one was after game 1 of Clippers Nuggets. Yo, Kawhi might be top 15 all time. God. And they lose in the first round by 45 points.
I will say, though, healthy Kawhi.
Hey, Drew in New Jersey, you're on the Odd Couple. Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew?
Yeah, I don't think he's a big-time shot maker, but I think what you do in a Game 7 shows that I can count on you. But number 2, I noticed you said championship-wise, do you need to win a championship to be considered the greatest shooter ever? In your opinion, like, who was your greatest shooter prior to Ray Allen?
Prior to Steph Curry, you mean?
Yeah. No, prior to Ray Allen. No, I'm talking about Rob. As far as Rob, like, who was your greatest shooter?
I would take Michael Jordan as the greatest shooter. That's who I would take. If you ask me who's the greatest shooter in the NBA, I would take Michael Jordan.
I mean,
who has
You
a
need to win a
who has
championship.
who has high who has a
I'm
higher
not.
shooting percentage, right, than
to
Steph Curry.
beat as taking
I'm
many
dead
shots as he
serious.
took, that might be the most underrated thing
And
about MJ.
No doubt, and he averaged 30 points in the
average-
postseason. Drew, that's the guy. If you would have asked me,
Listen, if the answer is Michael Jordan in any conversation, I'm never going to be mad at it. But Larry Bird, to me, is the greatest, if you're saying non-Steph to me. Just like pure, just shooter, bucket of any kind is Larry Bird. And then some more.